Hello everyone, it's Donna Gray here, your Stamping Up demonstrator from the Northern Rivers area in New South Wales, Australia. I thought I would have another go at, it's not actually going to be 10 cards in 20 minutes, I'm going to try and do 12 cards in 20 minutes. And it probably be 20 minutes or there or so, or maybe even double that time. But hey, the whole process is just having fun creating and making multiple cards. So I'm going to use the Hoot Hoot Hooray stamp set, and it's in the Experience Creativity catalogue. It's right at the very back. So it's a beautiful stamp set. It has lots and lots of different stamps that you can use. It has Hoot Hoot Hooray, it has You Made My Day, Happy Birthday, For You, Always Here For You, Welcome Little One. So I'm actually going to make some of my team appreciation cards, and I decided to do a quick video. So I'm going to use Balmy Blue cardstock, Night of Navy. I'm using the Sail Away DSP, and I've cut some stitched circles with my stitched shape framelits. I've cut the second biggest circle out of white, and I've cut the largest circle out of Balmy Blue, and some designer series paper. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my little Hoot Hoot Hooray and my sentiments. So I've actually done some stamp surgery here. I've cut my sentiment off the bottom of my little owl. So I'm actually going to use Smoky Slate, and I'm going to ink up my little owl, and I'm going to stamp him down on our circle. So once again, and I'm going to use my blends with this, and you may say, but you're using your Smoky Slate ink pad. You can use your blends with your normal ink pads as well. It works very well. So I'm going to stamp 12 of these owls, if I can get my circles to come apart. So there's not a lot of stamping that I need to do with these cards. I thought I would keep it fairly basic to be able to do multiple cards. And the last one. Okay, so that's those stamped. I now have these little strips that I'm going to stamp my Hoot Hoot Hooray on. And it's upside down, so I'll turn it around the other way so that we don't have them upside down. So I have 12 of these to stamp. Who that's watching, type in the comments, if you're watching this on YouTube, type in the comments who loves making multiple cards. If you're going to sit down to make one card, would you prefer to sit down and make one card and one card only, or would you prefer to make 10 cards from one lot of crafting session? My idea is I like to make multiple cards because I always have many cards that I need for my team and for my customers. So making multiple cards is always fun for me, and I always need them to use in my business. So I've got one more to go, which I probably did that out of camera, but that's totally okay. So all my stamping is done. I'm then going to bring them back in, and I'm going to quickly colour with my light Balmy Blue. I'm going to colour my little owl in, and this will probably take up way more of the time. And I think I'm just going to do him just light Balmy Blue. We might actually put a little bit of darker on him, but so I'm using the brush tip end of my blends, and you don't have to be that particular in how you colour because your brush strokes disappear. That is the beauty of our blends. They actually disappear and it blends out on our cardstock and makes us look like we're very professional at colouring. So I'll do that with all 12, which will probably take me the most time out of everything. But it's very relaxing watching someone else colour or colouring yourself. So if you're watching this and you're doing a bit of crafting, you can concentrate on what you're crafting at the moment while I colour these. But they're so super cute, these little owls. One of the main things with your blends as well is don't go right out to your inked lines. Like, you can go a little bit in from where you have inked, because they will move on the cardstock. So they will end up reaching to that outside of your stamped image. So sometimes if you go too close to your line, you'll end up with it bleeding outside the edge of your stamped image, and you don't want that to happen. So try and make sure that you keep inside your lines, but a little bit away from your outside line, so that you don't get any bleeding happening. Now also with your blends, they will go through. If you don't have blends, you may want to use, you can use some colouring in pencils. You may have watercolour pencils. Watercolour pencils will do a similar effect. But it's just nice to add a little bit of colour to our stamped images. And I must admit, having our blends has really opened up my crafting, because now I'm not limited to stamping an image or inking up my stamp to get different colours with my image. I'm now able to stamp the outline and then colour with whatever colour I would like. So there, we're getting there. This will definitely take up the time, but as I said, if I don't make 20 minutes, it's totally okay, because actually, you know what? Instead of doing all of these, because I can colour these later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop at this one, and then I'm going to start popping our cards together. Actually, I feel like I want a colour on the little beak. So I think I'm going to find my pumpkin pie, light pumpkin pie. I'm just going to colour in the little beak, and that will just set him off. He's got a cute little beak, and I'll add the others all on, but I can colour afterwards. So it'll cut down the time of this video for you, because you want to see these cards finished in 20 minutes. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pop those aside. We're going to bring in our bases. Now my base I always cut at the same size, and it's Balmy Blue, the base, and it's cut at 5 3/4 inches along this way by 8 inches. So when I fold it in half, I get a card front of 5 3/4 by 4 inches. Actually not going to bone folder those so that it doesn't take me too long. You could have your card bases already pre-cut for when you do this, and you can have them pre-folded if you want to save yourself a little bit of time to have them pre-folded. It doesn't take that long to fold them, but if you were limited with time, if you did your preparation beforehand, you could have that done to save you some time. Nearly there. And sometimes too, if you get your trimmer, you can butt your edges up against in the trimmer to make them fold evenly. I tend to just line up my two corners and press down and fold. So that's our card bases folded, and we'll pop them aside. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to bring in, I've already cut the designer series paper, so I want to bring in, I've got some Night of Navy layers, and I'm just going to layer up my designer series paper onto my Night of Navy layers. Now this is just a slither of a border all the way around, as you can see. And I choose to use liquid Tombow because it is easy to maneuver your piece. You've got a little bit of wiggle room to maneuver your piece of cardstock to get that really nice even border all the way around. And I've changed this up. I've got 6 with one lot of the designer series paper and 6 with the other, so that I can get 12 cards, but 6 of one type and 6 of the other, just to change it up a little bit so we don't get bored making 12 of the same layout and everything, just changed up the designer series paper, and you'll see how different it looks just with the different designer series paper. Both of the designer series paper, as I said, are from the Come Sail Away suite, which is simply stunning for those males in your life. For doing some great male orientated cards, the Sail Away bundle is perfect. For people that travel, the Sail Away bundle is also perfect for scrapbooking. If you do a lot of cruise ship traveling, anything like that, I think it's fantastic for that beachy look. It's just a great multi-purpose bundle. And as you can see, it's double-sided designer series paper, so we have patterns on both sides, which gives us more options for using our designer series paper. And people, if you've got your designer series paper, please use it. Please, as Kylie Bertucci says, love it and chop it. Get in, cut your paper up, use your paper. This is great, like making multiple cards like this and using a panel of the designer series paper on the front is fantastic for using up your designer series paper, but also a great effect. Now, I'm not a person that will stick just a designer series layer on the front of a card base. I actually like to, as you will see, have these layers. I just find that a layer in behind our designer series paper just gives the card a little bit more of a quality look. It's personal preference, honestly. That's not anything written in stone that you have to put this layer on. It's just that I love to have that extra layer. I just think it adds a little bit more quality to your card. And this will be the last one. I've actually cut more of those layers that I needed. I thought I did. Okay, so we have that done. Okay, so the next thing what we're going to do is I've got some strips of our Night of Navy to go across the front. So I'm actually going to glue those on. So it's a strip that's the same width as our Night of Navy layer. So I'm just going to layer that up in the middle of each of the card fronts. And some of these are actually offcuts from when I cut my layers. They're offcuts and they're perfect. They're ready to go. Perfect size for fitting on your cards because it's the end piece from cutting your layers for the front. So you're not only using up your designer series paper, you're also using the scraps, your offcuts from your cutting your card layers. So in the middle, a few more to go. So this is a quick, simple layout. And I think a lot of the time we probably spend way too much time making our layouts more complicated than they have to be. This is a layout that could work with quite a lot of different stamp sets, designer series paper. Nearly there. Have no idea what the time is and how I'm going for time, but we're getting pretty close to nearly having it all sorted. And I don't know, there's something, for me, there's something relaxing about doing multiple things and doing it like a production line. Like, I don't know what it is. It's relaxing. I really enjoy it. When I do my monthly Stamps Club kits, I absolutely love cutting the kits and getting them all organized, sitting them out on my table, placing them all out, all in a row. There's something really relaxing about multiple things. Okay, so that's all those layers done, like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring our owls and we're going to pop that up on, actually, no, I'm not going to pop it on to dimensionals. I'm actually just going to glue that straight onto my Balmy Blue layer. That's super cute. Look at that. Every time I put my glue down, it falls over. Does anyone else have that problem? They put their Tombow down and it just falls over. I try to sit it up, but it seems to want to... I think it's the speed that I do it at. It just wants to fall over. There it goes again. Super, super cute. Should see how I'm going for time. 17 minutes, yeah. I doubt whether I'll get this done in 20 minutes, but it'll be close. And your Tombow's a nice strong hold too, so you don't need, you can see I'm not putting a lot on to hold those in place. A couple more to go. Two more. And the last one. Like so. Okay. Now we'll bring in our card bases and we will add our layers to the front of our card base. Now you're going to get a fairly good 1/2 inch border all the way around. But as you can see, these cards are coming together very quickly. And the beauty of it, at the end of it, I'm going to have 10 cards already made for my team. And I needed to get these done. So I thought while I'm doing them, I'll do a quick video for you all. And the beauty of it is my job will be done. And you will also be able to enjoy watching a video showing how the process is done. So if you haven't actually done a production line like this before, done multiple cards before, do you think now, after watching this video, that you might give it a go? Do you have a need? I know at Christmas time, we need multiple cards for our Christmas cards. So this process and this production line is fantastic for getting a lot of Christmas cards. I know some people have over 200 Christmas cards they need to make at Christmas time. So I find that if I had that many to be making, you have to start early. But if you sit down and you make one design and you make 10 of them, they're going to 10 different people. So my idea is you can get a lot of your Christmas crafting done very quickly by doing this process. So just type in the comments if you think that you might give this a go. And if you do give it a go, feel free, if you follow me over on my Facebook business page, feel free to post some pictures of your multiple cards that you've been making. So there's our bases all done. So now I'm going to come in with dimensionals, and that's going to be the thing that will take me the most time out of everything, is to pop things up on dimensionals, which I'll get a new pack out here. So what I find with this is I grab all of these, I turn them all over and line them up on my desk so that you can put the dimensionals all on, all in one go. Okay, so I'm actually going to do 3 dimensionals on each, and I think that will be quite enough. And I will use the edge of that pack later. I always like to add dimension to my cards, just for a bit more wow factor. I find that just popping up a label, it just makes it sit a lot nicer, and for the recipient, it makes them realize that you've gone to a bit of an effort to pop the card together to make the card. And I mean, it's beautiful that they're getting handmade cards. And I can tell you, to buy a card like these in the shop, you would not be able to buy one in the shop as pretty as your, and as well manufactured as your handmade cards. And I can tell you from all of the recipients that get my cards, they all say the same thing. It's so nice to get handmade cards in the post. Okay, so we're just going to pull those dimensionals off, and one by one we're going to line our little owl up on the front of our card. So just like so. And I've probably gone way over my time now, but that's totally okay. So there's another owl. These cards are super, super cute. This owl is really, really cute. And the price of this stamp set is very reasonable. And if you're just starting out to crafting, you can see I've made some super cute little cards here. And all it really was a couple of elements, cut out our circle to stamp our owl on, and some layers and a strip of cardstock to go across. And it's quite effective, super cute, and some dimensionals to add a little bit of dimension to our project. And I could have just done a video showing you one of these cards, making one of these cards, but I really wanted to show you the process of making multiple cards and how easy it is. And I can tell you, at the end of it, when you have 10 cards, you are so proud of yourself that you've sat down, got your crafting area in a mess, not for just one card, but for 10 cards. So, and that's the most exciting part at the end, having that bundle of 10 cards. Now you could even do this in packs of cards, like if you wanted to make a pack of cards, we've got beautiful acetate boxes that you could probably pop these cards all in with matching envelopes. You could pop a little owl on the envelope as well. So there's always that idea. It's great for a gift for someone special. and you could probably make them into thank you cards. I'm actually making mine for my team members, and it's going to say Hoot Hoot Hooray because it's for my team members that have been performing and selling lots throughout the month and the quarter. So that is why I'm doing these. Okay, so now I'm just going to trim that at an angle. So my Hoot Hoot Hooray, I'm just going to trim at an angle like that and pop it on with a little bit of glue, bit of Tombow, and just pop it there. Oh, too much glue on that one. Okay, so I'm going to bring all those in and trim them. So now I'm definitely going way over, but that's okay. Maybe if you put me on fast speed, I may have done it in 20 minutes, but anyway. That. And these Whisper White pieces are offcuts as well. So slithers that I cut off when I'm making my layers, I keep every bit because these are fantastic for stamping your sentiments. It was definitely perfectly sized as far as the height of the Whisper White. So it was perfect for me to stamp this sentiment. So I'm all about using as much as you can from your crafting and making sure that you are using bits and pieces instead of throwing them away. Okay, so that, and pop that one on there. Next one. On there. Now I'm just tucking that in underneath, oops, that one's too far. Tucking that in just underneath the, where I've popped up the owl on the front. It's just giving me enough room to tuck it in underneath. Nearly finished. 4 to go. I definitely would have been way longer had I coloured all of these in. I will go back through later after I finish doing this video though and colour them. 2 more to go. 1 and 2. So there you go. There is some super cute cards using the Hoot Hoot Hooray stamp set. But how super cute are they? Let's put some coloured ones up in here because this one might be my picture for later on. And this one. But super quick, super easy, and I now have beautiful 12 cards for my team members. 29 minutes and 15 seconds. So I didn't do too bad. And there was a bit of chatting in there as well. So very close. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, if this is the first time you've watched me on YouTube. And feel free to share my video. Comment below if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer. If you don't have a demonstrator in your area and you live in Australia, I would happily be your demonstrator if you wanted to purchase any of the items. So all of the items that I've used in making this card today are available in my online store. You'll find that down in the information box down below. I do a monthly stamp club. If you want to find out more information, you can go over to my website, stampingwithdonnag.com, and you can find out all the information over there. So thank you everyone for watching, and happy crafting. Bye for now.